Well, hello. My name's Wayne Haley. I'm a certified personal trainer through the Cooper Institute in Dallas, Texas. I'm also a certified kettlebell instructor through Kettlebell Concepts. I'm certified in the functional movement screen, and I consider myself a little bit of a functional fitness specialist. I think that's fair to say that I don't consider myself an expert. There are very few people that I do. However, I do specialize in functional fitness. That term gets bandied around a lot. Basically, to me, what's functional is what helps you live your life well. I'll just leave it as simple as that, okay? So what I want to do in this sequence is show you a little bit of a mobility progression. This is great to use for a warm-up, regardless of how advanced you are in your training. This is a great place to start if you are just beginning a fitness program. This will be a great place to begin to seek to develop a more comprehensive fitness program. You always need to build mobility first. Once you get the mobility, you build stability into it. Then once you've got a mobile, stable platform, then you work on building some strength. So this little mobility sequence will be helpful to you, I believe. And since I really feel that the seat of power and functionality as an athlete or in any particular endeavor you may be in is in the hips, I'm going to start there. That's where I always begin my mobility progressions. And what we're going to do is a hip down, come back to the hip, and do a hip up progression. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is begin with a motion kind of like you're about to sit in a chair. You're going to stick the old glutes, the old glute max, out behind you, kind of like you're going to sit in a chair. Load those heels, and stand back up straight. Extend that waist a little bit forward, kind of like you're pointing your belt buckle forward a little bit. Not very far, but just a nice rocking motion back and forth with the hips. Back and forward. A few of those. Then hands on the hips. Push them side to side. Okay, as we go down that mobility chain and we move to the knees, let's start first with an open chain, i.e. you're not attached on this movement. Knee is a simple hinge. That's really all it does. Anything that looks like more than a simple hinge is either an illusion or it's tearing things up in your knee. So let's just hinge that knee back and forth a few times. Okay, good. Now, back to balancing on one foot. Flex and extend the foot at the ankle. Good, switch feet. Okay, right foot back. Load this back foot and raise up onto the ball of the foot under the big toe. Mobilizing that joint. It's interesting, this is a joint that often is very inflexible in people, and it can lead to all kinds of issues, whether you're walking, running. A lot of people have knee problems that can be linked to stiffness in that big toe joint. That being stiff, it's going to cause you to alter your gait. When you start rotating or torquing that knee joint, like we said, it's a simple hinge, things tend to go bad. Okay, back to those ankles. One foot back, pivot around that toe, make some circles, a couple in one direction, a couple in the other direction. You obviously can load these up a lot more than I'm showing you on this video. I don't figure you want to watch me do a mobility progression for 20 or 30 minutes. Okay, now we're going to hinge those knees, but now we're going to be closed chain. Our feet are going to be attached to or planted on the ground. You don't have to put your your hands on your knees. I mean, you can do like that if you want to. I just kind of like to keep my hands on there. It's kind of cool to feel how that joint works. Okay, and then back up to the hips like we said. So this time, I'm going to pretend like we've got a hula hoop on. It can be really embarrassing to try to hula hoop. Most of us don't actually have that coordination that we had when we were a little kid in that regard, or the mobility in the hips. But if we did, we could really be rocking the hula hoop right now. Okay, good. Now we're going to move up into the lower spine area. We're going to twist. And what I want you to concentrate on doing is keeping those hips facing forward so we're stable from the waist down and trying to get as much of our rotation as we can out of the upper body at this time. Good, okay. Arms out to the side. Same thing, we're keeping the lower body stable, just rocking back and forth from side to side. Okay, same thing again, lower body stable. I'm going to bend forward, I'm going to bend back. Forward, back, forward, and back. Now this move's kind of fun. What we're going to do is we're going to try to dissociate along our waistline here, and we're going to turn our hips one direction and turn our upper body in the opposite direction, okay? Some people like to cross their arms like this. I kind of like to put them out like you're in a Russian dance type thing. So the hips go one way, the upper body goes the other way. Okay, going to move up in the thoracic spine region now. Let's start just by making some great circles with the arm like we're swinging a backstroke or swimming a backstroke. Okay, grasp thumbs together, kind of like you're riding a horse. We're going to shrug up with those shoulders, circling way back and down. Good. Those scapula, those shoulder blades should be lifting and pinching together and then opening up as we push forward. Okay, let's go the opposite direction. So we're going to start low, then shrug, finish high. Okay, a little bit more shoulder specific thing now. Kind of like we've got a propeller going out here in front. A couple of spins one direction, a couple of spins the other direction. Work both arms. Okay, now we're going to move up into the cervical spine, into the neck area. This is a really critical area. I'm an old guy. I'm 57 years old, soon to be 58. And probably throughout the course of my life, I've probably experienced more discomfort in my neck area, my neck region, than anything else. And I've used all kinds of sleep systems, so on and so forth. Had a stiff neck a lot. I've been a cyclist, a distance runner, a competitive Olympic weightlifter, a shot putter and discus thrower, a javelin thrower in college. I've run the gamut. All of these things have taken a toll on my neck area, especially the cycling. If you're a cyclist, I cannot overemphasize the importance of keeping good mobilization in your shoulders, thoracic, and cervical spine Okay, so let's start just with some glances over the shoulder, side to side. Let's move to an up and down motion. I'm not going to talk during these, which you're probably glad of. Keep your teeth together, not clenched tightly, but just together. And touch your chin to your sternum if you can, and then look up. Try to flatten your face out parallel to the ceiling. Okay, good. Now we're going to rock that head side to side on the neck. Be sure not to raise your shoulder when you do these. The motion's coming out of the cervical spine area. So, I don't want you like doing like this. Shoulders stay down and flat. Side to side with that head. Okay, finally we're going to start with some, or finish with some figure eights to start. We're going to finish with some figure eights. Pretend like you've got a pointer on the end of your nose. I should probably do this with a laser pointer sometime. That would be pretty cool. Duct tape it on my face or something like that. And basically I want you to make some eights and some infinities with your nose like this. Go the opposite direction as well. Of course, an infinity is just an 8 laid over on its side, so both directions. Okay, that's a good beginning mobility sequence for you to use. That's going to loosen up pretty much all these joints, get them ready to move into the next level, whether that's moving on to some stability exercises, whether it's moving on to some corrective exercises, whether it's moving on to some strength training, whether you're going to go for a run, whatever. This is a good way to help mobilize those joints, get everything ready to go.